maybe you just randomly from the algorithm clicked on this, but regardless, hello!
Let's begin, shall we?
Hello there. Hi. How is everyone doing today? Let us start, as we always do, with our movie puzzle. We got 10 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright. I see dead people. Haley, Joel, Osmond. Osmond or Osmond? Something like that. I don't know. The J's in the right spot. So I'm thinking it's James something. Ellen Ripley. Is Sigourney Weaver. I think I got that right. But that takes away the possibility of it being James. The town. I feel like we might have had this one before. Alright, I'm going with Julie something. The Wolf of Wall Street. So let's see. We got Leonardo DiCaprio, not him. Margot Robbie, no, too many letters. Jonah Hill? I'm guessing this is Oscar winner. Yeah, this is probably going to be Peter O'Toole. So I think our first name is Julie for our puzzle. Alright. The Disaster Artist. This was... It was a name I recognized. They played the other guy in the movie. I don't remember off the top of my head. Inception. Is this gonna be like Marion Cotillard? Yeah, I butchered the spelling of the last name, but I think that's who it is. We got an Oscar winner for 1974. Hidden Figures. I think they always give us Kevin Costner with this. Another Oscar winner. Pineapple Express. Just Seth Rogen? Then Million Dollar Baby. Hilary Swank. So we got Julie Oets. For the Disaster Artist. Sage, hi, hello. How are you doing? You're well? Do you have all the new sprites yet? No? Oh, you're slacking. Just one, but he's mastered. Nice. That's more than I have, because I've been at work all day, and now I'm streaming, and... yeah. I might have time, like, tomorrow into the weekend to play some, so... try to get some of the new ones then. Why can I not think of any actors named Julie? You leave tomorrow for 10 days, so you probably have more than me here, sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, Major said you were going on vacation. I wasn't sure how soon that was coming, so I wasn't sure if you had already left or not. But enjoy your vacation. I know I did. I enjoyed my vacation, not yours. But yeah. Tomorrow after work. Nice. This is going to be a huge fumble if I don't figure this one out. Oh, that's right. The Disaster Artist has that little clip reel with all the real actors, and it was one of them. I don't remember who it was. Alright, so actors named Julie. Well, like Julia Stiles? That doesn't work. Julie Louis-Dreyfus is the first one that comes to mind, but it's only two names, so that doesn't work. I don't know. Chat, I need help. What help you need? I need an actor with the first name Julie with the last name in there. Or I'm going to IMDb. Julie. Styles doesn't fit. Julia Roberts, that doesn't fit. Because it's Julie. I mean, it could be Julie Andrews if we have some of them wrong. If I have most of them wrong. Man, I am really butchering this. Okay, so it's not Julie Andrews. You're Julie Andrews. Julie Benz, Julie Newmar, Julie Bowen. Julie... I guess it could be if I got Peter O'Toole wrong. Yeah, I think I got it wrong. Yep. Major's right, because Major's always right. I should have known. Sometimes we just need a reminder. Yeah. We got it before the time ran out, though. Yeah, it makes more sense with the capital L. Yeah, someone was writing an I, like an uppercase I or lowercase L the other day in chat. I wasn't sure which it was, so it kind of, yeah, made it tougher. Yeah, and that means we just had one guess wrong. It was Tatum O'Neal, not Peter O'Toole. Now, I should have known it because I was pretty sure Peter O'Toole has an E at the end of his name. Fucking Sharon Stone was the answer for the disaster artist. Ingrid Bergman for Oscar winner 1974 and George Burns for 1975. I'll just type in all caps, that way you know. And I'll just assume you're yelling at me all the time, which is fair. Because you sometimes do yell. Not at us, but, like, at other people in your house, and we just hear it. But GG's. Major coming in at the last minute to save us, save the streak. Well done, everyone. All right. Close that, close that. Yes, Major helped. I should have listened to you from the start. All right. Let's see. We are in... I don't know why that's bolded. We are in scene 32 on page 26. So, where we have left off. We finished the first section of Margaret's story. So we went through her and Helene in the colonial settlement, everything that happened there, her going through the woods, getting sick, found by the Native American, or the Shawnee tribe, and then setting off to Bryn, and then finding the Dianic witches, and they cast a spell, and she lost her memory. I know that sounds like a lot. That's just our first 20 pages. Jeez. A lot happens in this. And then from there, we pick up with Helene to see what happened with her, to fill in the blanks that Margaret is unaware of. So we are currently at the first meeting between Helene and Seraphina. Seraphina is the head of the Dianic witches, and Seraphina knows that Helene survived being burned at the stake, which is not something that happens, and so she's trying to recruit Helene to join her with the Dianic witches. I think that's everything. And that's only the first 25 pages. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so we're at the top of page 26. We'll just go up to the bottom of page 25. Alright, Seraphina looks over Helene, inspecting. You should not be alive, but here you are. No witch should have been able to survive that. No witch survives. No witch. No witch. Oh, there's only one eye and survives. You should not be alive, but here you are. No witch survives being put to the flame. How did... I think we remove so, because it doesn't work. You should not be alive, but here you are. No witch survives being put to the flame. How did you? Helene, I don't know. Seraphina. No. No, you do not. Standing. Helene looks to Seraphina, inquiring. Standing. Helene looks to Seraphina, inquiring. Helene. Who are you really? I feel like inquiring is repetitive because she asks a question, which means she's inquiring. Seraphina. Oh, this is where I got tripped up a bit last time, so hopefully I like the way it reads and we can move on past it to more stuff. Alright, Helene, who are you really? Seraphina. I'm a witch. Like you. Well, not exactly like you. I'm a Dianic witch. Helene. You say that like I'm supposed to know what it means. Seraphina. We follow the principles of the goddess Diana. Fight oppression so all witches can live free. Fight oppression. I don't feel like we need all that. We follow the principles of the goddess Diana. We fight oppression. We protect witches from hunters. Helene. I don't like this response from Helene, but there needs to be something of her, kind of like a subtle jab that they didn't save her. Or maybe we go not so subtle. So where were you when they tried to burn me? I can take care of myself. Helene turns to walk away. Seraphina doesn't relent. Helene turns to walk away. Seraphina doesn't relent. Seraphina, we were tracking the hunters. But... oops. But our numbers are few. Many died in the journey to this new world. But if you were to join us... We were tracking the hunters, but there are only a few of us left. Left. We were tracking the hunters, but there are only a few of us left. Okay. Okay, so we can say... So I want to try to tie it back to, like, the old world, new world. Okay, so we were tracking the hunters, but there are only a few of us left. You're tracking the hunters, but there are only a few. Okay, so what if they weren't tracking the hunters, if they were tracking Aura because they were trying to find more witches? Oh, it's a D, not a T. Boop. Okay, I think this hits everything I want. Helene turns to walk away. Seraphina doesn't relent. Seraphina, we are tracking magic auras. There are only a few of us left. In the old world, the hunters nearly eradicated us, and many died in the journey to this new world. If you were to join us, halting, Helene looks to Seraphina, indignant. Je me joins à vous? I don't know. That's my best French attempt. We don't need that space. Ah, vous. If you were to join us, I could teach you how to fight back against the hunters. We'll have Helene cutting her off because I don't know that that last part really is necessary. If you were to join us, I could teach you how to fight back against the hunters. Helene, what can you teach me? I don't need you. A smug grin crosses Seraphina's face. She kicks. I just feel like smug grin crosses Seraphina's face. Kicking the body, lying on the ground. She reveals a captured hunter. Smug grin crosses Seraphina's face, kicking the body lying on the ground. She reveals to Helene a captured hunter. Seraphina, we were too late to save you. Consider this an apology. Seraphina moves her hands in precise movements. I feel like a precise movement. Seraphina moves her hands in a precise movement. And incanendo. Okay. Shifting her eyes from Seraphina. Helene watches. Quivers. Shifting her eyes from Seraphina, Helene watches the hunter. We don't need a comma there. The hunter quivers, then screams in agony. His skin starts to glow from within. as a fire burns from inside. No movie tonight. No movie tonight. Plan is to see Odyssey next Thursday. When I checked last, the earliest showing for the bigger screen that my theater has is 7, so I might do an earlier stream. But I want to wait and see if they have an earlier showing when I go to buy my ticket. But obviously, I will keep everyone updated. Also, hi Naughty Dog, hello. How are you doing? Shifting her eyes from Seraphina, Helene watches the hunter quiver. Shifting her eyes from Seraphina, Helene watches the hunter quiver, then scream in agony. His skin starts to glow from within, as a fire burns from within. From inside. Pretty good, pretty good. Nice. Knowing she should be terrified, Helene can't take. Knowing she should be terrified, Helene can't take her eyes off the hunter. Captivated. Then silence. The hunter's charred corpse is all that remains. Then silence. All that remains is the hunter's charred corpse. Helene looks to Seraphina. She done ignited the magnesium in his bones. She done something alright. I don't feel like intent is precise enough of the word, because like I feel like she's a bit scared but also like intrigued. Start with intrigued. Fascinated, captivated. Yeah, so I like enthralled, and the same with mesmerized, but they could be interpreted as Seraphina put a spell on her. Yeah, or spellbound. Or entranced. Stuff like that seems too close to magical stuff going on. And I use captivated there. Riveted, possibly? Is that correct? Okay, I wasn't sure if the second I was an E second E was supposed to be an I. Then silence. All that remains is the hunter's charred corpse. Helene looks to Seraphina, riveted. Esengui-ma, teach me how to do that. Appeased, Seraphina extends her hand to Helene. If she's questioning what happened, you could say she looks to Seraphina with curiosity. Curious fever. Yeah, it's part curiosity. But like I said, there's also like... I feel like I kind of hit it here. Like, she knows she should be terrified by this, but she can't take her eyes off of it, and then, like... Yeah. I think it's more than curiosity. Like, she's like, I want to know how to do this after what happened to her. And this is kind of her moment of significant change. Yeah, I think that works. Finally, we're out of scene 32. Yes. GG. All right. Exterior, Dianic Witch Outpost, Appalachian Mountains. You know, you can get rid of knowing she should be terrified. Some will argue that's unfilmable. It's something for the actor to, that if they're good enough, they should be able to convey that, like, there's something holding them back in that moment of kind of fluctuating between, like, you know you should be terrified, but, like, seeing it up close, like, you can't take your eyes off of it. I think it is filmable. And we want Brie Larson to play Helene, so she's kind of a good actor, and I think she could play it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, is that what we call it? Dianic Witch Outpost? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh. I scrolled too far. Oh no. I'm unfilmable? Maybe. How did you know I was a vampire, Rad? It's supposed to be a secret, man. Thy matron be unfilmable. Sick. Burn. Alright. Exterior, Dianic Witch Outpost, Appalachian Mountains. Date, 1681? Put some aloe on that burn. Hold up. I need to see... Oh, no, this is her going to the Shawnee settlement. I need to figure... When was that? Scrolling, 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 scrolling. Oh, scroll too far. Okay, that's also 1681. We're good. One of the witches should throw some aloe on the hunter. Okay. Anyway, we'll put it here too, so forget. 1681. The stone and wood structure sits along the mountaintop. Dianic witches wander about, performing various tasks. We're just going to boop that there. Dianic witches wander about the stone and wood structure, sitting along the mountain top, comma, performing various tasks. Dianic witches wander about the isolated stone and wood structure sitting along the mountaintop, performing various tasks. It's an establishing shot. Not going to overthink that one. Try not to. Alright, scene 34. Interior Dianic Witches Outpost. Day. Seraphina sits on the bench. On a bench made of stone, Helene stands before her. Decades have passed. So because we have the years in the scene headings, I don't know that we need it in the text. Seraphina sits on a bench made of stone. Helene, less carefree, more stoic, stands before her. Alright, I'm changing this. Approaches Seraphina. Sitting on a bench made of stone. Helene, less carefree, more stoic, approaches Seraphina, sitting on a bench made of stone. Yes. Yes? Yeah. Tight to the point. Yeah. Yeah, it was just... The way it was written before was too static, and I'm trying to inject more action and more movement into the action text. Yeah. Seraphina. The hunters have been bolstering their ranks. Matching their numbers will be impossible. Helene. I can put a stop to that. Seraphina. Certain you could. But that is not what I had in mind. But... The hunters have been bolstering their ranks. Matching their numbers will be impossible. I can put a stop to that with what you've taught me. Seraphina, I'm certain you could, but now is not the time for that. Helene. This needs to be changed to a question. Then what have you been training me for all these years? Helene's gonna cancel him on Twitter. Okay, yeah, this felt... I don't like that kind of phrasing. The hunters have been bolstering their ranks. Matching their numbers will be impossible. Helene, I can put a stop to that. Seraphina, I'm certain you could, but now is not the time for that. Then what have you been training me for all these years? Not all of your sisters are ready. Patience. Not all of your sisters are ready. Alors, que tu vas faire? No idea if I was anywhere in the ballpark on that. Seraphina, if there is going to be a war, we will need allies. Others, like us, who can stand up to the hunters. Helene. Others? What others? I want you to meet with some of the local tribes. I want you to meet... with the leaders of local tribes. See if there are any who would be willing to join our cause. I want you to meet with the leaders of local tribes. See if there are any who would be willing to join our cause. Feels kind of wordy, but kind of in line with how we have her speaking. Meeting? Helene follows up with, meeting, talking, it's a waste of time. This is a waste of time. It's... meeting, talking, a waste of time. All the hunters understand is strength. Let me go after them. Seraphina, if I let you go, I'm letting you get yourself killed. Helene, I survived. No contractions yet for Seraphina. Correct. Eventually she will. She has one here. With it being 54 years later, she may have started integrating them. But we may keep it as... yeah. We'll keep her contraction less for this section. Seraphine. Um. Yeah. All right. No contractions for her. There. If I let you go, I am letting you get yourself killed. Helene. I survived once before. Seraphina. But you may not survive again. You said yourself you do not know how. But you may not again. You said yourself you do not know how you survived. Do this. Help us find allies. Then we will fight the hunters, and we will end them. Reluctant, Helene nods, acceding. Did we have that in the last scene? No. Nope, nope, nope. It's all good. 17, nope. 1681. I think that's the year we're in. Yeah, 1681. Where are we at? Alright, we got a couple more minutes till break, so we'll try to get through our montage and then take a quick break before we come back and do some more editing. Alright, we're up to scene 35. Montage, day-night, 1681. The morning sun sneaks through the tree canopy as Helene leads a horse, descending the mountain. Do yourself a favor and watch The Witch. With the director's commentary, you'd think Robert Eggers hates his own films. Oof. I like The Witch. I have it on Blu-ray. It probably has the director's commentary on there, but in the first trailer for Werewolf came out, I was like, this looks just like The Witch. So I am curious to see how that one goes. The morning sun sneaks through the tree canopy. Helene leads a horse. Okay, that's how I want to phrase it. Leading a horse, comma, Helene descends. There it is. It's a great movie. It's just funny hearing him complain about how the firewood is too uniformly cut and how he wished he would have erased Tomlinson's earring holes digitally. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much a lot of people realize how many times a director has to watch their own movie. And so, like, and not just like passively watching it, but like examining every shot for every little thing. Oh, he nitpicks the hell out. Yeah, like he knows that movie better than anyone else. I can pretty much guarantee that. And so he knows everything he would do even a little bit differently if he could. He says on the commentary he's never watched the Witch outside of the editing room. Yeah, I mean, but in the editing room, I'm sure he saw it like 1,000 times in 1,000 different iterations. But with filmmaking, at a certain point, like, you run out of time, you run out of money. Like, you can only do so much. And so he probably ran out of time, had to put out the best movie he could in that time, but there's stuff he wishes he could have had more time and more money to change. Bro complained about one scene didn't have enough dust floating. That's funny. Alright. Morning sun sneaks through the tree canopy. Leading a horse, Helene descends the mountain. Helene rides the horse across the vast open plains. We're going to invert that. Under the warm summer sun, Helene rides the horse across the vast open plains. Sitting by a campfire, under the stars, in the remote meadowlands, Helene eats alone. I'm going to change some of these around just so it's a little... Under the stars, sitting by a campfire, Helene eats alone in the remote meadowlands. Under the stars, sitting by a campfire, Helene eats alone in the remote meadowlands. Under the stars, sitting by a campfire, Helene eats... Yeah. That's a good line. No, I was just considering one more change, but I think it works as it is. As the horse takes a drink from the stream at midday, Helene looks out over the wide open wilderness of the Ohio Valley. Under the midday sun, the horse takes a drink from a stream. Helene looks out over the wide open wilderness of the Ohio Valley. Yeah. That works. 1681. Alright. Let's update our notes. We're up to scene 36. Woot! We only have like 150 more. We're making progress, team. Alright. We are about halfway through, so we are going to take a short break. Yeah, yeah. 150 more. That's it. We're making progress. It'll take however long it takes. I'm not worried about it. Alright. We're going to play some words on stream for anyone who would like to participate. You get letters. You write the words. You got to wait for the little locks on the timer. Good luck. I'll be right back. 3, 2, 1, go. Well done, team. I have returned. Naughty Dog carrying with the gold. Rad putting in some work, coming in with the silver, and I got like one word. I was surprised Coded didn't count. Oh well. GG's. That disappears. Yeah, and it was well before the timer ended, so I don't know what happened with that one. Alright, we're back. Let us return to our editing. Alright, so we have Helene traveling. Exterior Shawnee Settlement Night, 1681. On horseback, Helene nears the village, made up of a series of wooden longhouses. Village made up of a series of wooden houses centered around. Oh, I see what I was trying to do there. Nears. Okay, we're gonna cut that. On horseback, Helene nears a series of wooden longhouses surrounded by lodgings. In the 1600s, Shawnee lived in the Ohio River Valley, surrounded by woodlands, including present-day Ohio, Pennsylvania. Semi-nomadic, highly mobile tribe designed to be temporary. Okay. The Wigwa primary dwelling. Okay. So we'll say surrounded by Wigwa. Oh, W-I-I. Yeah. W-I-G-I-W-A. Yeah. On horseback. Damn it. Alright. On horseback, Helene nears wooden longhouses surrounded by Wigwas. Seeing Helene near, a group of Shawnee delegates approach. Vidsy! Hi, hello. How are you doing? How are things? My chair is my couch. Good. Big chillin'. Nice. I'm not even gonna try to say what the Shawnee delegate says, but they speak. You like it? Nice. Yes, I like my couch. That's why I spend so much time in it. Or at least that's my excuse. All right. Seeing Helene near, a group of Shawnee delegates approach. So do we need that, or should it just be on horseback, Helene nears wooden longhouses surrounded by Wigwas, a group of Shawnee delegates approach? Nah, because we kind of need it. This needs to be, I think, 2 shots probably. Like Helene going toward them, and then people seeing her approach, and then the delegates. Yeah, we'll leave it. The Shawnee delegate says something, uncertain of what they are saying. Helene remains. Group of Shawnee delegates approaches her, is tighter, if that's what you're asking. Yeah. Yeah, we can just do that. On horseback, Helene nears wooden longhouses surrounded by wigwas. A group of Shawnee delegates approach. Shawnee delegate, uncertain of what they are saying, Helene remains. Shawnee delegate repeats. Helene, I want to talk to whoever is in charge. The delegate. You could use a descriptor to show, see her. So at this point in history, I don't know that they would be hesitant seeing one person riding toward them. Yeah. Helene, I want to talk to whoever's in charge. Delegates look to each other, questioning. That was just an example. Could describe the manner. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know what descriptor I would use to describe how I imagine them nearing rather than just like they approach her. So, what is this? Let's try to reverse engineer. Translate. Apparently, they said he went to the lake. What the? That's not even close to what it originally said. Is it just random? It's fucking random. Oh no. This is bad. Uh-oh. Oh, this is bad. This is why we don't trust AI. I don't know what to do. Hi. Hello. Welcome in. How's it going, terrible novelist? How was stream? Screenwriter and in... Yes, we are in Writer Duet. Yeah, we have a couple other screenwriters in here and in the community. But hi, welcome in. How are y'all doing? I hope you had a good stream. Oh, that's what you use as well? Nice. I quite enjoy it.
I like this one.
Thank you for the follow. We are... I don't know. Struggling. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Doing good. Last reading and writing stream, I've devoted to reading, trying to get a feel for what kind of first aid my main character would need to learn. Oh, nice. So it was more of a research stream? Okay, so our issue is I used an online translator to translate certain things to a Shawnee language because our character is meeting with some Shawnee characters. And when I went back to the translator to reverse engineer it, we discovered that it is nonsense and spits out random stuff. So everything we used is nonsense. And so I'm trying to not be very upset and try to think of a solution instead of just being very angry. Let's see. So I asked at work if they had a first aid manual. They handed me the American Heart Association Basic Life Support Manual. Okay. Yep, this is my main character's second chance at making it in the world. Nice. Okay. Star Wars Bennett. Yeah. I just don't remember what the original text was, so we're just gonna have to guess. Here's a high school flunky, and one of the demons he needs to defeat is realizing all his anger as former teacher. Alright. Unless you only want the language heard but not understood. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Because, like, I don't necessarily want subtitles because we use quite a few different languages throughout this. So that's why I wanted to have it be translated. But in this case, it's just not plausible. Yeah. If you can write in a foreign language and let context give a clue to the reader, I find that. Yeah, I mean, that's what we did, because some of our characters are... This all takes place in kind of early or colonial America, before it was America. So like we have a character who speaks in French, and like it's easy to translate English to French and get the context right because you know that's one of the options on like Google Translate, and people speak French, and I understand a teeny tiny bit of French, so we can kind of like get that, and I like when it just reads as French. But like this kind of, yeah, it's gonna suck. Until the studio hires Shawnee language expert, it's gonna have to be yeah, problem for later. As far as I'm concerned, just get the story out. Yeah. Well, this is our first significant edit. So we have the whole story out. Right now we're trying to fix as much as we can. And so, yeah, this is going to be something we're going to have to fix. Oh, thank you, Major. Oh, yes. Here, let me... Is it that? There we go. We have a command for it. Yeah, so this has the genre and the log line. And if you have any questions or want more specifics, let us know. Yes, in our cast. Alright, so you're saying bracket it. What? I'm not gonna get hung on. We'll fucking fix that later. I'll make a note. Do it later. We'll do it live! Major. Yes, Major, my mod, my bestie, is otherwise occupied trying to capture all the little sprites in Fortnite because today is new sprite day and all the 12-year-olds are trying to stop her. Whiskey? Yes, please. That's my favorite. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna have to... We'll figure it out later. The delegates look to each other questioning. Shawnee delegate. To another... the delegate closest to Helene nears. Takes hold of her horse's reins. Outside of water and pineapple juice, drinking a cheap scotch blend right now. My sleep time medicine. Oh no, we're in ad jail. Delegate closest to Helene nears, takes hold of her horse's reins, and escorts her. Escorting. The delegate closest to Helene nears, takes hold of her horse's reins, escorting her to... The only water I drink has barley and hops in it. So we are... They stop outside the council. Okay. So we're at the Shawnee settlement, and then they take her to right outside the Shawnee council house. Okay. The life goal is to be left alone, drink scotch, and write. Yay! Welcome back from ads. You didn't miss anything. I'm glad you're all bonding over your preferred drinks. I drink water and coffee, and that's about it. Just... Getting too wordy. Gotta cut the words. In the tears of his enemies. Yeah, I don't really have any enemies, but sure, we'll go with that too. All right. So I feel like because we have Council House in the scene header, we can just say outside the largest building in the settlement. In the settlement of the settlement. Do you mind suggestions? Suggestions are usually alright. Gonna lurk for a bit, have supper. Yeah, no worries. I know post stream you gotta unwind and stuff. Don't want to go. Yeah, no worries. You can suggest something and we'll let you know. Yeah, and I haven't been at Naughty Dog yet. Okay, that needs to be that anyway. Exterior, Shawnee Council House. Moments later, we need our year. We are still in 1681. Okay. Outside the largest building of the settlement. Yeah, I think this needs to be of. Outside the largest building of the settlement. Ah. Yeah, I don't know why that should not be. If you haven't heard of him, check out scriptfella.com. He's been the biggest influence for me in cinematic writing. Okay. Oh yeah, BRS is good. Okay. Nice. Yeah, we will save that for later. Yeah, when I first started screenwriting, I read a lot of the books to get a lot of the basics and stuff down, and I listened to the Script Notes podcast for a long time. But it got kind of to the point where, like, every time they would start talking about a subject, I was like, I know exactly what they're going to say. And then they said exactly that, and I'm like, all right, I don't think I need to listen to this anymore. Took Scriptfella's paid workshops, one of those live course. It was so worth it for me, but he has free 1-hour sampler class, showcase what he does. Okay, nice. Got a fledgling screenwriter who pops in from time to time. Oh, okay. I'm guessing Mariners. Noun, verb, object, for the win. Alright, yeah. Oh, you know Mariners? Mariners is everywhere. He might even be lurking, so... No, I'm just joking. Mariners, good people. Cool dude, I want to take free class with me so we can chat while you... Okay. Alright. I want to change this, because we want to... This is another thing I've tried to focus on, because, like... So in the other stuff I write off-stream, I just finished an edit of kind of my latest project, so, like, I'm in that weird space of, like, I don't know what to write next, so I'm going back and just, like, reading through my old stuff and updating it. And one of the things that I talked about earlier was just kind of, like, being as concise as possible with my actions and being as clear as possible and making sure that the actions are active, that I'm not just writing passive sentences. And the other thing is making sure the focus of all the action is on the right place and on the right character usually. And so because Helene's kind of the center or the focus of this scene, I want to make sure we lead with her rather than the delegates. Budget the words. Oh no, that doesn't work. So, Italia closes Helene news. Alright, we gotta change this. Nearing Helene. Nearing Helene, a delegate takes hold of her horse's reins, escorting her to... Trichomai is think of each action line as own camera shot. Yeah. Knowing the basics of cinematography helps, keeps the lines crisp, clean, moving forward. Yep. I also try to show what happens, not how it happens. That keeps it up. Yeah. Yeah, that usually works. Sometimes I have unusual ideas for how I would want to shoot stuff. So the previous thing I was writing was a horror movie, and kind of my idea with it is I wanted it to be as few shots as possible. And so even though each action line would be a different beat, I always imagined it as a single camera shot. But yeah, for most traditionally filmed things, that is probably more accurate to imagine each of them as what is the shot we're seeing. Yeah, Story by Robert McKee is a good one. Serious Goob. Hi, hello. How are you doing? Okay, so we can just say that. I'm doing Goob. Nice. Helene, on horseback, is led by the delegates to the largest building of the settlement. Helene, on horseback, is led by the delegates to the largest building of the settlement. Halting, the delegate points to Helene, then to the ground. They say something. Yeah, McKee is... Yes, Story is a good one. Hesitant, Helene dismounts. Hesitant, Helene dismounts. A Shawnee stable hand leads her horse away. Hesitant, Helene dismounts. Maybe active voice for that sentence. The delegates lead Helene instead of Helene is like, yeah. Oops, hit delete too many times. Delegates lead Helene on horseback to the largest building of the settlement. No. Okay. I need to combine the first two bits. I think I got it. Leading Helene on horseback to the largest building in the settlement. Delegates halt. There. Helene rides her horse, trying to yeah. Alright. Exterior Shawnee Council House moments later. Leading Helene on horseback to the largest building of the settlement. The delegates halt. Then halt. Point to Helene, then to the ground. Leading Helene on horseback. Yeah. Working on a novella at the moment. I turned prose 2 years ago. Health kept me from heading to the screenwriting grind. It's a prequel to a script. Oh, okay, the log line that you're working on. Okay. Alright, yeah, I just needed to combine those two, because this starts with action, which is one of the things I was talking about. Yeah. Because we start in the middle of action, and then the action stops and changes. When a former spy is hired by a ruthless CIA asset, he discovers that the target he was hired to find is himself. Apologies for the basic question, but what software is this? Yeah, this is Writer Duet. We had asked that question, so like with a lot of other stuff, we made a command for it as well. My awesome mod, Major of the Whiskies, made a command for that. Got a sci-fi on the query circuit. Gain the spy story of this mission where status. I have 11th century Ireland. 60k words. Wow. That is a lot. All my scripts need one more round of edits. Polish, seek, rebel. Nice. I have not gotten to that point yet. I just keep writing stuff and rewriting stuff, and so I have like a bunch of scripts that are just for me. Alright. Someone else working on a werewolf story. Oh, that's right. Yeah. We were talking about Robert Eggers earlier, so my first thought went to Robert Eggers' werewolf, but I'm guessing Naughty Dog's... Is it a werewolf story? I don't know that we got to that point. I knew there were bears and people being killed. Okay, so it is a werewolf story. Got it. Hesitant, Helene dismounts. A Shawnee stable hand leads her horse away. Helene, where are you taking her? Shawnee delegate says him. Helene, but... Ah, it is probably a my top script. When an Irish mobster finds a clue to his missing brother, he enlists the aid of a traumatized priest and a psychotic killer to uncover a web of corruption, searching for the truth, God willing his brother. One of my viewers was key in finding the origin for a werewolf curse. Love to collaborate. Yeah. Yeah. Writing with chat has been quite different, but I think it has helped the writing process for sure. Mine deals with different versions of lycanthropy. Heard a few years ago, think of a script as building a sandcastle and invite others to come play with you. Nice. Yeah, the way I've always thought of it, and it's not a perfect metaphor, is making a sculpture. You start with a giant block, and then you slowly chisel away, chisel away, chisel away until it starts to look like the thing you want it to look like, and then you keep chiseling away, and then you get to a point where you realize some things aren't the way they should be, and that's where the metaphor falls apart. So, kind of like a sculpture. And then Patrick Swayze wraps his arms around you and things get weird. Maybe they don't. Wait. No, wait, that's pottery. Yeah, that's probably a better metaphor as pottery. Because, like, you can still change it. Delegates, motion Helene. I guess we just say toward the council house. The delegates motion Helene toward the council house. Stealing, she makes her way into interior Shawnee council house. Continuous 1681. Fellow Twitch streamer filmed one of my shorts and it was released in February. He did a great job, missed a couple small payoffs due to time and money, but his writer I was thrilled. Nice, that's awesome. I was thinking that Naughty Dog, but I didn't want to say it. Yeah, that would make it slightly weird. Yeah, one of the problems I have is I would like to shoot some of something, but every idea that I come up with is like big sci-fi or fantasy, so it would not be easy to film. So I'm just like, nah, I like big ideas, so can just write those, and it's free. Once a ghost, always a ghost. Okay. I was saying, work with the guy who filmed my short, taught me to think low budget, great exercise. Is another in post, another to be filmed in. Wow, staying busy. Finds more Shawnee sitting around a central fire pit. Some eat, others just talk, indistinct. Which is why I turn to prose for my big stories, get the existing I mean. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried to, like you said, think small and think of like something that I could film myself, but like every time I try to start that process, I get bored with it very quick because I'm like, I want something big and interesting, and this is just small and kind of interesting. I don't know. Tips: avoid opening clauses for the most part. They can slowly read, not bad, but make sure they work. What do you mean by that? Basically all my stories about talking dogs, which would make filming them tricky without, but yeah. I mean, don't you just have to find the talking dogs? What about Santa Claus? Yeah, we all gotta start somewhere. Looking over the long, it creates pauses. Helene glances over the narrow structure, more direct. I don't know. Sometimes I think starting with the verb is better because it makes it more. You can imagine the scene. I can imagine the shot because it starts with the verb of she's looking, and then we describe what she's seeing. The shot, reverse shot. Have you read the graphic novels? Rover read chart. Lingo over the narrow structure. It's all subjective. It's not, for sure, yeah. There are definitely times when I do noun verb object, but sometimes I like to switch it up so it has a better flow to it for me. And a lot of times, one of the reasons, one of the editing techniques that I do is reading it out loud, which doing it on stream makes it more natural, but I would be doing this anyways. And a lot of times it's just about how it sounds to me and if it sounds like it flows well to me. Yeah, and like the cadence, yeah. Dig it, good cadence and flow effects read. Yeah. I was trying to link it to. Oh, okay. He was talking about the Rover Red Charlie. All right. Let's see if we can get through this scene. Question mark. All right. Interior Shawnee Council House continuous 1681. Looking over the long, narrow structure, Helene finds more Shawnee sitting around a central fire pit. Some eat, others just talk. Indistinct. One of the delegates escorting Helene waves over the Shawnee interpreter. There's an extra space in there for some reason. Shawnee delegate to interpreter says something. Shawnee interpreter to Helene. Welcome. I speak. You. Helene. I want to speak to your chief. Shawnee interpreter. No speak. Moon. Eat. Sleep. Speak with sun. Okay, I looked it up. I'm gonna have to eat it up. Oh, yeah. Speak with sun. Helene takes a moment to piece together the meaning. Trow! Hi, hello, welcome in. Yeah, we are having a good stream. We are editing and trying not to rip out our hair while we do it. But I hope you're doing good as well. Okay, I definitely have to tell you a story at some point. Ah, thanks, Trail. I appreciate it. Okay. Oops. Taking a moment to piece together the meaning of the words, Helene nods. Reluctant. Helene. Very well. Yeah, I didn't like her saying very well. It just didn't quite seem right. Alright. Taking a moment to piece together the meaning of the words, Helene nods, reluctant. Helene. I don't have a choice, do I? The Shawnee interpreter motions Helene to follow. I don't remember if we described the interpreter. How long have you been writing scripts? I've been writing about 15-ish years. But that is all self-taught in that time. I didn't go to school for it or anything. So it's been reading screenplay, writing books, like I said, listening to podcasts and different things, and just writing and writing and writing and writing. Take some Dragon Force wailing in the background. Oh my goob, that's... yeah. Long time. Time for me to say good night. Been fun. We'll be back. Pleasure talking. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Cypher. Yeah, we'll probably be wrapping up here in a few minutes as well, and I will be back on Sunday for our next stream, where we're starting something new. All right, yeah, later. Have a good one. Taking a moment to piece together the meaning of the words, Helene nods, reluctant. I don't have a choice, do I? Ignoring the Shawnee interpreter motions Helene to follow. Yeah. Think I want to start writing my own screenplays very soon, so... Nice! Major might be in the middle of a battle. Oh, I need the see why. Oh, Major got it. Nice. And I'm super slow on that stuff. Major is the best. Oh, didn't mean to open that. I need to open it in my other one. But yeah. Alright. So we are through this scene. We are on scene 39. We'll pick it up next time. So if I remember right, so we're on 39. We have a total 164. I'm not doing that math. We got a lot to do. But we are making progress. And like I said, we are pretty much at the end of streaming time. So we are going to wrap up and see who is streaming and go right over to someone. Looks like we have two choices. All right. Over here. Major wants to go over to Author Christie. All right, we will go over there. We haven't rated her in a bit, so that works. I just want to try to switch them up a bit. Cool. Yeah, we'll go right over there. Thanks, Naughty Dog. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Yeah, as I said, next stream will be on Sunday. We'll be starting up writing our version of Captain Marvel 3. I have to figure out if I want to like go through the whole outline before we write it, because I kind of did outline so I wouldn't forget any of my ideas, and it's like most of the story. So I don't know. We'll figure that out Sunday. Get that project going, and yeah. Yeah, thank you to everyone who stopped by, hung out, lurked, chatted, all the stuff, all the things. We got a raid and some new friends. I can't do the thing. So it's currently Major and I, same brain cell. Yeah, it's currently in another document that I have just so I can access it from different places. But yeah, I will either link it in Discord. What I'll most likely do is like copy it over to a document and just go through it when we start upstream. Oh no, raid's going. Bye.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Do whatever you want. Live your life. I hope you're happy in your body. Much love to you. And see you around.